Welcome to Rise and Grind, my mixed media locked Ironman account. In this series, I'll be grinding both old school RuneScape and the real world and sharing bits about my life in between. Let's get ready to grind. Well, it's a new dawn, it's a new day. Something I'm going to begin to incorporate into my AFK thieving during my AFK time in the weekdays is going to be raising kittens and selling them for death runes. I wasn't planning on doing this originally. I was just going to kind of buy chaos runes to train my magic and get death runes eventually down the line when I needed them. But I figured with Karambwanji being really easy to fish, I may as well do it. I installed a plugin to remind me when to pet and feed the cat so I don't forget and kill it by accident. But if you see me with a kitten and a few death runes in my inventory in a bunch of clips throughout the next few episodes, that is why. Also, I'm very likely to forget to have my kitten out a lot, so don't expect to see me being extremely efficient about this. All right, I wrapped up another day at the Thieving Factory, and the total experience for today was 267,000 thieving experience. I made another 450k approximately, and 17 easy clue scrolls. Whenever I'm not sure what I want to do next or I can't decide, I'll look at the next quest on the optimal quest guide on the wiki and just do that quest and then figure things out. So here's a little clip of me in the middle of the Fremennik Trials playing my lyre for all to see. And I clicked through the end of Fremennik Trials, but that is Fremennik Trials done, also crafting level 58. And they introduced this new skill guide in the update, I believe this morning. So now it shows a blinking thing around your skills, and it'll show you, this actually happens in RuneScape 3 if you're not familiar, but it'll show you what you've leveled up, what you've unlocked for this level up, which is pretty neat. I also realized I had the watermelons to do the scarecrow related diary tasks, so I quickly planted my scarecrow at both Falador and the Canifis patches so that I could get those out of the way. And that is the Watchtower quest done. 71 magic as well. And if I read the scroll here, I unlock the Watchtower teleport, which is also a hard task. I'm just going to push this boulder here. What's the worst that could happen? The unicorn's okay, right? Right? Now, if you couldn't tell already, one of my goals for this video is to get a bunch of the diary tasks that I can do out of the way. There's a lot of quests that are related to diary tasks, so here I'm doing Underground Pass to wrap up the RD Medium diary, and a lot of the questing and skilling content that I'll be doing as part of this video is going to be goals related to getting some of those easy and medium achievement diaries out of the way so that I could get XP lamps and use them on everyone's favorite skill, Herblore. All right, the Underground Pass is defeated. Just have to go back to the King to complete the quest. Finally out of that hellscape. And there we go. The Underground Pass is done. I've got an Iban staff now. And more importantly, if we take a look here, I have all the requirements necessary for the Ardoin mediums. One thing I love about this area of the early game Ironman experience is that it's kind of like this one small favor quest that spans the entire game of RuneScape, all the skills, all the content. And now don't get me wrong, I despise the quest one small favor. I've not yet done it on my account, but I'll be tackling that one soon. I think the quest is awful. But there are often areas of the game where you progress to a certain point, then you hit a roadblock and you realize, oh, to get any further I have to go actually take on this other little challenge. Like, for example, all right, bad news gang, I'm using the quest plugin helper to walk me through all the steps I need to do the medium diary, and I completely forgot about the myth grapple, even though I talked about it just a couple days ago. So I need to acquire one of these to actually wrap up the Ardoin medium, and that means going back to Giant's Foundry. I like to spend some of my time while I'm running deciding what I actually want to do next in terms of my active time playing the game. I unfortunately don't have the ability to just say, okay, well, today I'll do smithing for 8 hours and bang out all the levels I need, and boom, one more Song of the Elves requirement done. I don't have that kind of time outside of some weekends, so I need to decide which grinds I want to take on and when, and I like to do a little bit of things, if that makes sense. I like to do a little bit of fishing, a little bit of smithing, break up the grinds. I'll try to dedicate an hour to it, then move on to the next thing. So I'm always making progress, but not necessarily grinding out, 83 Hunter within 24 hours of making my Ironman. I don't even know if that's possible, but maybe within a week you could do it. I eventually want to get there, but it's going to take a lot of Hunter rumors and a lot of dedicated active time. So anyways, that's a little status update for me. One small favor all the way. And that's another Hespori kill. Yeah, a minute longer than my first one. And no bucket. All right, this turn in is going to make me 59 smithing. Oh, right, it no longer shows in the chat box. I was expecting to see the unlocks, but they actually just moved this. Here, I can now make a mithril grapple. I am, however, going to stay here for one more level just to make my smithing level nice and even 60, so that when I go for 70, it's just a 10 level grind. While I'm doing the last couple swords I need to hit 60 smithing, I'll talk a little bit about the Giant's Foundry in general. So you saw the clip earlier where I bought all the armor that I was going to be using here. But the key to making this bearable, in my opinion, this isn't the worst minigame in the world, but it's a little bit annoying managing this kind of interface up here. The Easy Giant's Foundry plugin, however, just kind of tells you what to do. It's not everyone's preferred playstyle. Some people might want to enjoy figuring out these different ticking arrows and making sure that you're not overheating or underheating or whatever can go wrong. But the Easy Giant's Foundry plugin tells you how many dunks you have left before you're exactly where you want. The thing highlights red when it's not supposed to be used yet. And also it tells you how much heat is left and how many actions are left until you finish the segment. So I'm able to completely ignore this bar up here for the most part. I only look at it for the time when it's like yellow and you can click on the tool again to get like a little bonus to your progress. But otherwise, I just kind of pay attention to how much heat I have, how many actions I have. The heat is lower than the action, so I know I need to go back and heat up a little bit before I finish. I can go back here, use the trip hammer, and wrap up this segment before moving on to the next one. And also, importantly, I don't need to remember, do I need to heat or cool to use this next tool? This just says 10 quenches or 18 cools, so I just quench away, wait until this ticks down, and you'll see this guy go from red to green, and then click away. So it makes it a lot more laid back. It's not AFK by any means. There's not much downtime here, but you can see the yellow there. Click, turns green, you get some extra bonus. My heat's going low. I need to go back over here. And the game's over. Another important thing too is if you mess up at all and you accidentally use something when you don't have enough heat or whatever and you lose some progress here, if you do one of those like bonus actions, you do get some progress back so you don't lose out unless you make too many mistakes. So there's a couple times I was looking away from the screen. I lost a little bit of progress. But as long as you pay attention and kind of click when the bonus actions pop up, you'll get that progress back and you won't actually miss out on any XP. And this is going to wrap up 60 smithing for now. No, I will not receive another commission. This little grind, so it's about 740, 1940. And I started right around, let's see, 6:12 p.m. So I spent about 90 minutes here, and for my efforts, I was getting almost 120k XP an hour, and I gained about 170k total XP. I still have not bought anything from the shop though. I have 2500 Foundry reputation. I believe if you're going for maximum efficiency, which I'm not, there's like an order to buy some of these molds, which is a little bit more efficient than just buying the smith's gloves and boots and trousers and stuff right out of the gate. But it also depends on your smithing level, because some of these have smithing level requirements that are fairly high. And I think a lot of the good molds have a high smithing requirement, like this is 79 smithing. So To be honest, I'm going to be very lazy about this. I'm going to start with the gloves because I can combine them with the ice gloves, then get the boots, and then, trousers and tunic in whichever order. And I'll probably get a couple of those at least, maybe three or maybe the full set on my way to 70 smithing. But if you're interested in trying to do this in the most efficient way possible, I'm sure you can look up. I think there's a spreadsheet out there on which of these is the most efficient purchase. So good luck with that. I just had a mild panic attack because I realized that you also needed to fletch mithril bolts and then attach it to the mithril grip. And I was worried that I would have to do another grind, but luckily I already have 60 fletching. I did a bit of the Veiled Totems mini game a few days ago, and that put me in the position to actually create the mithril grapple. And now that the grapple is mine, I can go complete the medium diary. And finally, after no sidetracking at all to pick up on requirements that I was missing, that is the Ardoin Achievement Diary. I can now upgrade my newbie little purple cape into a, I don't know, I think it's a slightly tealer looking cape. I don't even remember what color it changes to. All right, my remembering of what the color of this was a bit off. Maybe, I don't know, is that a teal? I don't think that's teal. It's a little more green. I'm not good at color identification, but we got the Ardoin cape too, and of course, we are going to throw this on Herblore. That's 7,500 experience and 46 herb. And of course, now that I have the Mithril Grapple, I'll be quickly banging out all the achievement diaries that require it, that I have the requirements for, of course. Oh, I did not actually realize that I was only one task away from the Lumbridge achievement diaries. I guess I forgot. Uh, I forgot that I did everything. So I guess I also have the Explorer Ring too now. Cool. Delicious herb XP. Another 7,500 herb XP and 47 herb. All right, and that is all of the grappling shortcuts I can use to bang out some achievement diaries at the moment. There's one more grapple related achievement diary, but you need 70 agility, ranged, and strength, which I don't have any of those yet, so I'll be saving that one for later. But this little side quest to get the myth grapple did get me 5 achievement diary requirements out of however many of these things are, but you know what? I'll take it. Progress is progress. Next up on my list of achievement diaries is the Corendon Kebos Easy Diary. I mentioned this in the last video or maybe a couple videos ago, but this diary actually unlocks the Hosidius cooking range, which gives you a 5% increased chance of successfully cooking food, which is pretty important at my low cooking level. It'll help me get more XP and burn a lot less of the food that I'll be getting from Temperos. And you know the deal now. This goes straight to Herblore. Another 2,500 experience points. And also the Rada's Blessing, which does have a somewhat useful teleport to Corrin Woodland. I think it's 3 times a day at level 1, or at Blessing 1. My dog hates when it's raining outside like it is right now. And so she makes me come stand out here in the rain with her while she does her business. I was in the mood to continue doing some of these achievement diaries, so I also got through the Western Provinces achievement diary, which involves my favorite activity of all time, chompy bird hunting. All right, and I just wrapped up a quick fun 30 chompy kills to wrap up the Western Provinces diary. I hope I have enough kills at least. Claim hats. That's a collection log slot as well. And there we go, Western Province achievement diary, all done. Time to talk to the Elder Gnome Child in the Gnome Stronghold. All right, and I got my little banner here, and of course, you probably could have guessed it, but another Herblore lamp, 2,500 XP in the bag. There we go, 48. One step closer to, I think Song of the Elves requires 70, right? It does. This is going to be the longest of them all, but 70 herb, 1 lamp at a time. Eventually I'm going to have to make a couple potions, but... Alrighty, that is Family Crest completed. This has 3 key rewards for me. Number 1 is that it is my last requirement for Legends Quest. So now I'm able to complete the Legends Quest, which will be useful. The second is the two of the uses of the steel gauntlets. One of them is the goldsmithing gauntlets, which I'm not planning on using in the short term, but over time, eventually smelting gold is decent smithing experience at Blast Furnace with the goldsmith gauntlet, so I might do some of that. But what I'm going to convert these into right now is the chaos gauntlets, which will give me some max hits using chaos spells, and I'm going to be AFKing a bunch of blue dragons to train up my magic to 77 or beyond. Also get a bunch of dragon bones to get closer to 70 prayer. And so that's going to give me some more DPS there, give me some more experience. And now it is time to become a legend. And this is the legend quest being completed, which means if I don't screw this up, that's 30,000 Herblore XP up to level 51. Another 30,000 up to level 53. And now level 55. Last 30,000 XP drop, level 57 Herblore. And there's the legend quest completion. 57 Herblore. And I'm a legend. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Rise and Grind. Please leave a like and comment. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video. They used to call me the legend in high school, so I expect you to call me the legend in the comments as well. And I'll see you next time.